In honor of Mother's Day, I thought I would read a little bit from my debut novel, A Moon and All Things, in particular, a little segment featuring the women at the well. And what you need to know is that in the first chapter, Morgan had an adventure the size of her dreams and got into big trouble because she stole her uncle's fishing boat. And in 1820s Western Ireland, women were not allowed on boats, let alone to captain them, let alone a redhead to be anywhere near the docks. So, with this in mind, we step into the scene where Morgan is approaching the well with her buckets and reading from chapter 2, Ferry to Freedom. The village well had been built centuries ago by local clansmen. A rock wall 3 feet high surrounded clear artesian water. Here, women and girls came to fill their buckets for supper, sometimes pausing to tie a scrap of fabric to a nearby hawthorn, their hopes or worries offered up to the goddess Bridget. Nearing the well, Morgan overheard her name and snippets of conversation. She crouched alongside bright green rushes, hoping she hadn't been seen. "A sea chariot," said Widow O'Rooney, who perched on the rock wall as though overseeing the women. "Morrigan said he had a powerful sword. Could it have been the mythical sword Fararach the Answerer?" "Ah, the Answerer," replied another woman. "'Tis said the very sight of the sword filled men's hearts with fear. When held against one's throat, no lie could be told." "Indeed, 'twas certainly Manannán mac Lir, son of Lir, the ancient god of the sea," said Widow O'Rooney. "Manannán mac Lir is only a mythical being," chided yet another woman, pulling up a full bucket. "The girl said he wanted to ferry her to freedom. Freedom from what?" "Manannán mac Lir is guardian of the Otherworld. He ferries the souls of the dead," Widow O'Rooney whispered. She crossed herself. Could he have come to free Morgan's soul? Morgan sucked in a breath. "'Tis said Manannán mac Lir was seen by Isla the Healer just before her mysterious death," said Widow O'Rooney. Morgan nearly tumbled from her crouch. How had her great-grandmother Isla died? "That Morgan's an odd girl, been strange from the moment of her unholy birth. Let's hope she hasn't brought ill fortune upon us through her actions," said the widow. I've heard the fishermen talk. They're fearful the sea god has put a curse upon their season. Why else would he appear?" Recoiling, Morgan looked for a way to melt into the hedges. She'd find water elsewhere, perhaps at a stream on Sir Martin's estate, forbidden though it was. Young Letty O'Malley, playing in a nearby streamlet, spied her. "Maury, was it a sea god you saw?" she asked. Discovered, Morgan stood, setting down her buckets. 2 bright spots clung to her cheeks. She looked away from the women's stares. With her toes, she rustled a stone from where it was embedded in the trackway. "I don't know. He seemed of a different place and time with his strange metal helmet and streaming cape," she managed. "What's this about?" said Kathleen, the crooked woman, who'd arrived at the well. The sight of her, hunched over due to a spinal disease in her youth, was disquieting. One could not see Kathleen's face, although she had an uncanny ability to sense moods and situations. Some thought her a fairy woman, capable of applying counter-charms to protect humans from them, the good people, the sylvan woodland beings who caused bad weather, illness, and all manner of daily nuisances. To others, Kathleen was a wise and capable healer and midwife, steadfast in her belief that sea and forest were bursting with curative medicines. Good day to you, Kathleen, said the women, respect in their tones. Have your superstitions got the best of you, then? Asked Kathleen. And isn't it now the season of Lent? Many a village woman boasted about her piety during Lent, and any conversation about beings not found in the Christian Bible, like Manannán mac Lir, was strongly censured by the Catholic Church, though Kathleen herself cared little about that. She cared about protecting Morrigan from the women's gossip, seeing something of herself in the unusual girl. The women mumbled among themselves and then conceded. Aye, Kathleen, right you are. They gathered their buckets and made their way to their cottages. Fill your buckets, Morrigan, said Kathleen, her voice soft. Thank you, Kathleen. A smile bloomed on her face. She watched the women retreat, their pleated skirts of crimson, ochre, and blue swaying from side to side with their careful gait. Who is Manannán mac Lir? Morrigan whispered. The god that rules the land beneath the waves, a part of the Otherworld. It's where a surging fountain spills forth into 5 springs to nourish salmon, sea creatures, and us humans. He is of the noble race, the Tua de Danann, who once peaceably inhabited this land. 'Tis said upon hearing of impending marauders, Manannán mac Lir spread his changeable cloak of mists over the 9th wave, turned sideways into the light, and made his people invisible to their enemies. Turn sideways into the light and disappear. That's what I want to do, thought Morrigan, moving her body this way and that, pondering the how of it. But she knew not to ask Kathleen. The Irish ways. Many things were left unexplained so as not to violate the secret, delicate essence of the thing. A crow's squawk seemed to confirm her silence. His cloak, though, Kathleen. It changed colors just as you describe. I think it was Manannán mac Lir I saw, said Morrigan. If it was, Kathleen whispered, 'tis quite a distinction.